Hi, friends. Welcome, Dina.
Okay, hello. Hello, everybody. I'm happy to welcome you here in our presentation, online presentation classroom. I'm Dina Ostrovsky, and today I would say we'll be discussing what is conflict, how you work with conflict, what types of conflict we have, and why actually we need to pay attention to conflicts. And also, I'll share some methods I know about conflict facilitation. So I'll tell 2-3 words about myself. I finished my master in conflict facilitation school. They study conflicts and they participate in big conflicts around the world. But we don't need a big conflicts. We better to work with small conflicts and prevent them. So what is conflict? Conflict is when two people or two groups of people or maybe two countries sometimes have different opinion, and instead of discussing them or instead of working on different opinion and finding a good solution, they fight. They can't do it peacefully, then we call it a conflict. And nobody likes a conflict. Nobody likes a conflict. Everybody try to avoid that because, you know, on a personal level, conflict leads to fight, to breaking relationship, to bad relationships. When we work in a group and we have conflict in a group, sometimes you can't work together. And when two countries have conflicts, they fight and they make war. We don't like that as well. So what can we do? And I don't think we can deal with big conflicts, with war conflicts, but we can start with finding our small conflicts in ourselves, in my family, with my friends, and learning how to find them and make peace and make good solution and resolve them. That's a good practice that maybe we can make this earth more peaceful. So we start with a small practice. So how we approach conflict? As I told, conflict is when we have usually two sides, and two sides have different views or different opinion on some subject. So when we have a conflict, it's very good. We have a lot of emotions. It's a good idea to maybe step away from conflict for a moment and explore what kind of emotions we have and why we so, what is our side of the conflict and what is other side of the conflict, how we can do it, how I do it. Like example, I have a conflict right now with my teachers, right? They think I should they give me some task and I don't want to do this task. I think it doesn't have any meaning. So when I approach this conflict, I first take my own side. This is very important. Some people it's very easy to take their own side. Some people not. Some people try to feel very guilty when they think about themselves. So you can think about some conflict you have and think, can you take your own side? I can take my side. I say, okay, I don't want to do this task because this doesn't have any meaning for me. It's not interesting in my situation. I can find some words. We'll have some more example later. This is sometimes it's easy for me. I'm the person who can take my own side. I've seen many people, many clients of mine, many students of mine, that it's hard for them to take their own side. When they take their own side, they're nervous, they feel guilty, they're upset. So if it's hard to do that, there are tricks. The trick number one, you can imagine some helper or protector who can take your side. It could be a real person. Like in my position, I can imagine my collaborator, like Rita, my collaborator, stayed on my side and say, hey, don't give Dina this homework. I'm talking her voice right now. Don't give Dina this homework. It's too much for her. She's busy or something. Good. Feels good. Much better. Or I can imagine some fairy tale protector. Maybe it's dragon, maybe it is a fairy who come to my own side, to my back and say, hey, I protect you, don't push you too much. So this is one side, my side. When I formulate my side clearly, then we do very interesting exercise, which I actually wanted to share today. It calls try your opponent's shoes. Try somebody else's shoes. Yes, this is a good picture. And sometimes very uncomfortable to walk in somebody else's shoes. They could be too big, like here, too small for you. But if we pretend to do it, it could be easy. How we do it? Let's bring some light and interesting example. Maybe it's time to bring the example here. Yeah. Here's a girl, and her name is Karina, and she loves to read fantasy books. That's what she loves to read. That's how she likes to spend her time. She likes to read about dragons and unicorns, and other side, conflict side, is her parents, and they're not happy with that. Why? They want Karina to study science. They think she spends too much time on fantasy books, and yeah, good picture. They worry about her career. They worry about her future. They tell her, hey, there are no future in reading fantasy books. There are future in making science projects. So you should take your books apart and work on your science projects. This is a conflict, right? Karina doesn't want to do it. She may say, yes, I'll do it. And then she goes to her room, close the door, read books. Then her parents find out that she didn't do anything, and they're very upset, and they scream. And this is a conflict. Happens. What can we do? How we can help Karina? Maybe we can ask somebody, but okay, I give you a method. Maybe then we talk and see what's your ideas. My idea is that first we should help Karina to find her side, because when I look at her, I imagine she feels guilty as well. Maybe she wants to have a bright future, and maybe she wants to be successful in career, but her soul, her joy is in fantasy books. So maybe I should be her like a live fairy and stay at her back and say, hey, Karina, it's not that bad to read. When you read, you imagine other people's lives. You exercise your imagination. You also practice your brain flexibility so you can imagine different emotional situation and different how to go out of them. So you build a lot of knowledge for your future, maybe successful future. And after I do it, my imaginary Karina, this girl, I feel like she relaxes, and there are no such emotional tension in a conflict. And then I offer to do this method, to walk in her parents' shoes. How would you do it? You can stand up. Imagine I stand up, yeah, like here, and put imaginary shoes. You don't need to put these huge shoes, uncomfortable shoes, but imaginary shoes. And you walk a little bit, you shape shift, become your parent. You can imagine how your parent walk, how is to be. Maybe we take one parent, when we take father as an example, right? And father has big, we have mother shoes right now, but imagine father, we have big shoes and have suit and important, and big and steady, and we walk a little bit back and forth. And I'm not walking right now, but if you do this exercise, you should stand up, walk around the room and pretend. Kids know how to pretend. Adults, not always, but we can try pretend. Go like your other side, the side you have in conflict with. So the Karina, imagine Karina walks as her father and feels a little bit more responsibility on her shoulder, a little bit more heavy, thinks about not only today, maybe about future, and talk her father's voice. Hey, Karina, I worry about you. I really want you to be super successful in the future. No, feels different than to be Karina. And from this, when you try both sides, your side and your parent's side, you can switch a couple of times. Maybe go back to Karina, walk into Karina's shoes a little bit. Oh, I like fantasy, I like reading, I like my joy and my beautiful books. Back to father, heavy future, responsibility, also important. From this, switching back and forth, we can imagine what we can tell our other side, the conflict side, to calm them down, to find a way, middle way in between. Maybe Karina will tell, hey, father, like trying her father's shoes, being more responsible, being more grown up. She can tell, hey, I feel I know you worry about my future, and it's important for me as well. I worry about as well, but it's hard for me to do science project, but maybe I'll participate in competition, in literature competition. I'll write a beautiful essay and submit to literature competition. Let's see, maybe this can create a good future for me. And let's see, maybe father will be satisfied. Or maybe not, but it's another story. So this was my short story on how to play and try to resolve the conflict. Walk into other person's shoes. So let me repeat the stages. First, you formulate very exact your part of the conflict, your part, your side, your view, why your side and your view and your opinion is important. That's step first. If it's hard for you to do that, bring an ally, a helper. Could be your friend, could be your imaginary friend, doesn't matter. Bring an ally. Second, imagine you walk in your opponent's shoes and do it physically. Walk around the room, pretend that you are somebody else. Feel how it is to be this person. How his or her body is shaped, how they walk, how they think, what they see around themselves. And talk from their point of view. Talk to yourself from their point of view. And this is very important. And then maybe switch back and forth a couple of times. Your side, opponent side, your side, opponent side. Make a dialogue. After this, see, from my experience, in many cases, after you're doing this exercise, a new solution, new insights, new ideas, and new solutions, how to resolve the conflict come to you. Something new, something you didn't try before. Something which can satisfy both sides. Or you, at least you will know how to talk to your opponent without making her or him angry. And then maybe you can find some steps and some better environment to resolve.
I think you gave us a lot of good material for today. I'm just going to put up your contact information on the screen, just in the event someone else has questions later on, so they will have a way to contact you.
Definitely, I'll be happy to respond and discuss more of those questions.
So this is Dina's information. She also leads Therapia.org school. You can check out her website. She has many wonderful offerings there.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome to inquire about what I teach and how I teach.
Thank you so much, Dina.